What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. For today's video, what I will be doing is attempting a so-called viral TikTok makeup hack and seeing how I can make that work for me. Now, the reason that I quotated that whole bit is because this, like so many other hacks that was recently discovered, are not new. Our moms, our grandmas, long way before us, were actually utilizing a lot of these makeup shortcuts and makeup tricks and things of that nature. And I think that somewhere in our psyche, like once we started wearing makeup, some of us, not all of us, because everything under the sun is not necessarily, you know, reused, recycled, reborrowed, repurposed. Some stuff, you know, actually is new. But for the most of us, a lot of these things that we use are things that we subconsciously, I believe anyway, have held on to because we have seen them along the way. So without further ado, I'm kind of utilizing new lighting and new lenses and whatnot. So hopefully I'm coming in crystal clear for you guys. But we are going to get right into the video. As always, I like to prep my face first using a primer. This time will be absolutely no different. Huda Beauty's Pre-Makeup Complexion Primer is what I will be using. This guy here. You know, speaking of makeup tips and tricks and things of that nature, along my personal journey of getting into makeup, I've adapted some tips and tricks to help me along the way that were not mine initially. They're still not mine, they're borrowed. And they are amazing. They work so well. But I just know I can't, you know, consciously, from a moral standpoint, because I know how hard these, you know, YouTubers, these beauty gurus work to get themselves established. I know because I am an aspiring one. I can't, you know, walk around in good conscience like, hey guys, look what I discovered. Look what I created. Knowing full damn well that someone else inspired me to try that hack. I saw it on someone else's channel. I saw it on someone else's TikTok. And I can't be so naive to think I can now put it out there for the world to believe that it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I created it, give me all the credit. That's kind of messy. Okay, so here comes the first makeup hack. Applying your blush before foundation. Blush I am using is a cream blush, and this is by Milani. It is called Blushing Berry from their Cheek Kiss collection. And the reason I say first like I did is because apparently this has become very famous very popular on TikTok. There's a TikToker kind of put this out there like, guys, you know, I discovered this, something to that effect. And when I saw it, I immediately went to my source of first seeing it actually done. Now, the first person I saw do this was not a TikToker. The first person that I honestly will say, and I do watch quite a few beauty videos from different creators, but the first person that I saw to actually implement this trick, and it may not be the first, but it was the first one that I saw, and it was one of the ones who popularized this particular hack, and I'm probably not even doing it right, which was Jackie Aina. Y'all, I look like a clown. I don't think I did it right, but we gonna keep going. So yeah, she was the first person, the first beauty guru that I saw on her channel to implement this technique. Now, for me to attempt this hack, I am going to use as my foundation, I'm going to use Fenty Beauty's Eaze Drops, and this is in the shade 20. But before we do that, there's one more hack I have to do. This hack is actually to apply a bit of setting powder to your oily areas on your face so as to help the longevity of your foundation. It's genius. It's not mine. I didn't popularize it. I didn't come up with it. I didn't even think of it. And this is how I was so on the opposite end of the spectrum with this one. Before I saw Jackie Aina do her makeup like this, child, I was doing videos in the very beginning, very beginning, using Milk of Magnesia as a, I guess, somewhat of a primer to keep my face matte. And I had so much congestion from doing that, along with some tummy issues that I'm not going to discuss, but that was like the popular technique. I would see all sorts of beauty gurus, and I mean like big time beauty gurus. All of a sudden, you know, they're like, we're gonna do our makeup today. A whole new frame comes in, and their face is slowly but surely turning Casper the Friendly Ghost white in various areas. Nobody really, you know, wondered like, what are they doing? But I knew, because that's what I was doing to help mattify my face. That was just a step that we never really shared with our viewers. No matter how many or how few you had, that was kind of the unspoken makeup hack, because it had the ability to do so much damage to your face. But all of a sudden, I started to see less of the Milk of Magnesia and more of the setting powder before foundation, but nobody wanted to say where they got it from. I don't know, and while I'm doing all this talk, let me apply this powder. This is by Beauty Bakerie. It is their flower powder. This one is in the shade Almond or Chestnut, and I just apply a little bit to my oily areas, as I just mentioned before. Yeah, I don't know why, when there is something that works for you and you yourself did not, quote unquote, develop it, I don't know why we are so nervous or so jaded that we don't say, oh, well, you know, thanks to so-and-so, you know, this is where I learned this beauty tip from, and I wanted to share it with you guys, or, you know, I'm going to start implementing it in my routine because it really works. I don't know why we're so scared to give, you know, the next person credit, you know, as if it takes away from you as an individual. I just don't get it, but that will never be me. I'm now applying the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drops onto a damp beauty sponge. I will always, you know, like say where this came from, where that came from, because I'm just that type of person. Like, you know, what you do in the dark, it comes to the light, it comes back to you. And people work too hard, you know, to kind of have their stuff plagiarized, and you know, it takes absolutely nothing. It's so free and easy to just say, hey, well, you know, guys, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is you know, why it works for me, this, that, and the third. You know, shout out to so-and-so for even, you know, experimenting to find this hack out, or to, you know, develop this trick. Like, this is going to save us so much time, so much money, so much energy, so much product. And many of us don't do that. Now that I have the Eaze drop on, I am going to begin using concealers. This is a new one. It is Marc Jacobs Extra Shot. Here's my confusion. It's in the shade 410 Deep, or Deep 410. I'm going to begin placing it under my eyes as I'm talking a lot this video, right? So this is my confusion with this particular product. It states that it is a caffeine extract enhanced foundation slash concealer. Okay, Marc, I like you. I like you a lot. I even met you in person. I was at Fashion Week in New York. I like you. Love you even. I don't know if I'm gonna like or love this. How is this both a foundation and concealer? I was always taught, or at least it's my naive interpretation, that a concealer is supposed to stand out just a tad bit from your foundation color. You know, to kind of bring some brightness to the dull areas, or bring a little bit of light into the dark circles that you may have, or hyperpigmentation on your face. So if it's the exact same shade as your foundation, it kind of got you out here looking washed out. Like, is that the goal here? Like, I'm confused. Either this is a extremely tiny, very tiny bottle of foundation, or this is a large container, large bottle, whatever, glass tube of concealer. But I feel like to say it's both, that's a little confusing. So yeah, and because of that, this is not going to be the only thing I put under my eyes. I need some brightness. So I'm going to now use my Juvia's Place I Am Magic, and this is in the shade number 9. Just going to place that under. Going back in using the same Beauty Bakerie flour powder in shade Chestnut, I'm just going to use a clean damp sponge and begin to set all of the concealer. For the areas that I used darker concealer to contour, I'm going to set those areas using Maybelline Fit Me setting powder. It is in the shade named Dark. I'm just going to whisk a little bit of that onto my brush and hopefully not get it on my hair. That is my only issue with having white or close. Still a work in progress. Having close to white hair is my makeup picks it up. So even if I put like a little, you know, bonnet on, or a little scarf, you can still see the residue of my powder like on my hairline. And speaking of my hair, like I said, credit where credit is due. This is a color, or close to it, because I did this myself. I've wanted my hair to be white for a long time. I always wanted my hair to be this color. And I had gone to salons and, you know, consulted with stylists and was always told, like, no, the length of your hair, the coarseness of your hair, the thickness of your hair will not allow you to get your hair lifted to this color. So I tried for years using like box colors and stuff, to no avail. It never happened. I accepted defeat. I accepted defeat until I ran across this one influencer, very popular, very positive, very uplifting YouTuber who has hair. I mean, his hair is better than mine, but he inspired me. When I started binge watching his videos on how to get his hair to the desired, you know, shade of platinum, I'm like, oh, okay, so black folk can do this, right? I got the bleach. I mean, when I tell y'all I was so inspired and impressed, I did an entire little video just giving him his flowers, talking about how I had so many horror situations and letdowns in regards to trying to get my hair that color, until I stumbled upon his, you know, his channel and his content. So credit where credit is due. That is definitely something I will forever do. And shout out to you, Tyreek Idly. He is such a inspiring, you know, individual. The hair, he inspired it. Don't come from that place where I'm gonna take your credit. Like, who does that? That's not what we do. That's not what we do over on That's So Letitia. That's not what we do. For my eyes, I'm going to use Natasha Denona's Circo Loco palette. So I already applied a little bit of eyeshadow primer by NYX. So we're just going to jump right into our eyeshadow application. The, I guess, transition color, if you want to call it that, because this palette really doesn't have any. But the shade I'm going to use in lieu of that, it's going to be this shade here, which is called Fun to Me. I'm just going to use my shade brush by Eco Tools and begin to apply that in the area where your crease would be, if you were blessed to have one. If you, like me, have hooded eyes and you don't have a crease, we're just gonna put it right by, like, fill around for your eye socket, and that's where you would begin to put it. And then the next shade we are going to go in with is going to be this matted purple or matte purple called Magic. Still using a Eco Tools brush. Now for this shade, I am going to go somewhat under the transition shade and just blend this across. Because these colors are so bold, so in your face, so vibrant, you have to make sure that you blend them out properly. And the shade I'm going to use now is this one here, which is a purple kind of creamy shimmer shade called Act. Typically this one I would have applied with my finger. My nails are long now, so I can't. So I am going to apply using my old school MAC brush, just grab some on the brush there. I'm not gonna take it all the way over. So we're just going to blend it, not all the way from the inner eye tear duct, because we're gonna leave that, we're gonna reserve that space for another shade. And this one, again, because it's very pigmented, you want to make sure that you blend it in properly. The shade that we're going to use for the inner eye portion is going to be Aerialist, which is also a creamy shimmer shade. Kind of looks like foil. Like in person, this shade kind of looks like foil. The formulation of these shades is immaculate. Really it is. But that's how all of her palettes are, at least the ones that I've used thus far. Just put some on a shade brush. And we're going to I am now going to take a eyeliner by LA Girl Cosmetics, and this one is in the shade Tropical, and I'm going to line my lower lash line with it. And then I'm going to take a smudge brush by Eco Tools, and I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to use the shade Flip, this turquoise creamy shade here, and I'm going to apply that on top of the Tropical eyeliner that I just put in my lower lash line. For our lippy, I'm going to line my lips using a lip liner by McGrath. This one is in the shade Living Legend. And I'm just going to apply that to both my upper and lower lip. And to fill that in, I am going to use by Mented Cosmetics. This is one of their lip glosses. It is called Bakerie. And I'm just going to use that to fill it in. Alright guys, so off camera I applied my lashes. Say it with me, Ardell Naked Lashes. This time I switched it up on y'all. I changed the style, not 421, 422. Boom, in y'all face. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I feel like it's a little erratic, this one was. I don't know. Maybe I'm hyped up off of coffee. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. But just speaking of paying homage and giving credit, I'm gonna leave you guys with the video that I did just honoring and giving Tariq Ali his flowers in regards to my hair. Just to kind of show y'all how it's done. It don't take a lot. Take a few seconds and you can just be done with it. So until next time, we definitely shall chat again. Bye guys.